Hey, so I just finished watching Cowboys with Steve Zahn and Jillian Bell. Is that her name? I don't know. Whatever. Anyways, it was good. It was kind of. It is more of a mixed but mostly positive review for me. Uh, the the pacing was very slow for me personally. I couldn't like fully get into it if I'm being honest. But I thought it had some very thought-provoking themery that it was very intelligent, but the subject, especially with like dealing with subject matter that isn't really traditionally dealt with on film before and deals with it in ways that you don't see very often in film. So it does have a uniqueness to it that is well appreciated. So that was one thing that I definitely like about the movie that makes me overall recommend it more than I wouldn't recommend it. So like I would say I liked it more than I didn't for sure. Uh, it's just that the movie goes through so many thorny subject matters and it can't quite make up its mind which side it's on. So it kind of takes both sides and all of the subjects it deals with. And when it goes through all these really difficult subjects, it kind of feels like it's cheating when it gives you an even measure of both uh, possible answers. So, like for example, the nature versus nurture argument uh, for the daughter's gender identity, like is it her father's upbringing or is this like truly how she's always identified with herself? It seems to go half and half, but it's never in a way that's really consistent. She acts like sorry, he acts like a little girl, but then there's scenes where you can tell that he wants to be a little boy, you know. And yeah, it just there's scenes where like it's not consistent. It's hard to like, and I'm trying to figure out how to do this without going into spoilers as well. And I'm trying to figure out the delicate way into going about it. And I want to make sure that I'm only saying as much as I know how to talk about because I'm not very well versed in this subject matter. Like, I'm not very well taught in this at all, so I don't want to say something offensive on accident without realizing that I'm saying something offensive on accident while trying to explain my thoughts on the movie. Uh, Not to say that I have any offensive thoughts on the matter. I don't think I do, but yeah, the movie was good. I would say, yeah. Uh, it was just nice. I thought the ending was gonna go a more mean spirited and generic route than it ended up going. Uh, I thought it was, let's just say, the final minute or two. I thought was gonna be more depressing than it was. But then I was glad when I was like, I don't know if this is a necessary outcome for this kind of movie, I said. And then the movie was like, yeah, actually, you're right. And I was like, oh, okay, I totally called the fake out. Okay, then. So that was kind of funny. Uh, but yeah, it's a very likable movie. I liked how the both the parents of the child were very three-dimensional. And you could see why the kid like was didn't like being with either of them in different ways. Without getting spoilers, it's apparent immediately why with the mom, why he prefers the dad. But then after a while, you slowly start to figure out why it might be more of an issue than you realize, like being with the dad, who's like the more carefree one, but he's not responsible enough to take care of a child, even though that makes the mom more of a stickler and a mud because she's so responsible. But yeah, also I thought they handled the mental illness with the dad fairly well. Yeah, so yeah, I'd give the movie like a 7 out of 10.